RealChip TV, RealChip recap. I'm your host, Stephen Hellmann, here with Tom Aresco, and I've got to say, we looked pretty bad in week 2. Pretty bad. Worse than week 1, which, not an easy thing to do.
Not defensively.
Not defensively. The defense looked very good. So, I mean, the first half, the thing that stuck out to me in my rant, I'm going to be more informative and constructive here and try and keep it together, but 1 first down in the first half on a penalty. As I would say. A penalty. So, I mean, what happened? I mean, couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, the offensive line in the run game is where it starts, and you see they're playing safeties back, not letting us get anything vertically.
No respect for the run game.
No, none, and rightfully so. They're not going anywhere on the ground. I'm hoping, some adjustments will be made, but I don't make those decisions. I hope that Chip Kelly is going to make the right decisions, and I can only hope, but my suggestion would be make some adjustments because you got to change something up.
No, I think the big thing I saw was, when we can get the ball to the running backs in space, the screen passes and stuff like that. I want to see more DeMarco Murray and Darren Sproles on the field at the same time. I want to see these guys getting the ball in space, and we're just not doing that. You got receivers have dropped 8 passes through the first 2 games. Yeah. I mean, that's not helping. That's not helping Bradford out. The line's not blocking. No. So I don't really know. I think you got to pin the blame on just the whole unit, really. Yeah. I think Bradford's doing fine. I don't think,
Yeah, I mean, he came to Philly and we brought him here thinking, in St. Louis his career was almost ruined basically because of the lack of support, and we're not giving him much support right now.
No.
The run game early in the season was supposed to aid his recovery and make it easier for him to come back, and he's had to drop back over 80 times, over 90 times, I think. Close, 89.
35 yesterday, I think.
35, I was 37.
37,
and 52. So it was like 89.
Yeah.
Somewhere, I mean, that's a lot of dropbacks.
Yeah,
so,
it's too many.
And, if we were running the ball well and then we were also passing that many times, then you're obviously just playing well, but we're not running the ball well. Yeah. So something's got to change. I don't know if it's the personnel, got to get different guys in there, because I don't think, the 2 new guards are who everyone wants to blame it on, but I don't think Jason Kelsey's playing that well, and I don't think Jason Peters is playing that well, and Lane Johnson's playing, man, I mean, he's I think he might be our best lineman right now, so I think from a consistency standpoint, it's not about one lineman, though. If you watch, a lot of football, you understand that whole unit has to be cohesive.
You have to mesh, and, get some time. I think there's some growing pains that we were going to have, but what I thought and what you probably thought is we were going to be winning these games. Yeah. And there's going to be things that we saw that were like, they got to fix that, they got to do that. Like, the Chip Kelly team will play lights out one half, and the second half looked like they never played football before in their lives. But we thought, where they would just drop 20 points like in a blink of an eye, and that just hasn't happened at all.
Nope.
So, I mean, a lot of people are knocking the defense, but they held it down.
Yeah.
They held it down both halves, and then the last half of the Atlanta game they looked good too. So I mean, I don't know where people are blaming the defense. Yeah. I mean, I thought they looked good. What did you see?
I saw 29 receivers yesterday, or Sunday, I'm sorry, go over 80 yards. 29 receivers, and then 15 of them went over 100. So guys get beat, and there's a lot of heat on the secondary, mainly Byron Maxwell. But I mean, he's 70% of the time you're on the field, you're gassed. At the end of the game, giving up a meaningless touchdown. Yeah. In meaningful time, through the whole first 56 minutes of the game, the defense didn't let up a touchdown. They held their thing down, and they did their job. Maxwell gets beat from time to time, but again, when you're the top corner, you're going to be playing most likely the top receiver for most of the game, and they're professionals, and offense is going to go to their number one guy, and he didn't contribute to the loss whatsoever. There was a couple plays made, but he also had a big strip that kept us in the game.
Sure did.
He had a couple breakups. He had a couple tackles on third down. So at the end of the day, you have to tip your hat to the defense for bailing us out time and time again, and
making it respectable, really.
Getting pressure on Romo, that great Dallas O-line. I mean, they let Murray go, and everyone's talking about Joseph Randle. I mean, the guy averaged 2.8 yards per carry. That's not getting it done.
No, not at all.
As bad as we looked, like we were talking about, Dallas didn't look that great either.
No.
Now they got Whedon for the next 8 weeks, so that's tough. So, I mean, division's wide open, like we were talking about after the game. Very upset with the loss, and definitely don't want to be losing these games. And, I mean, you got to fix something, but it's tough losing players, and we know that from an injury standpoint.
I would rather be 0-2 with the Eagles' problems right now, where they're just not executing the fundamentals. You're not blocking people. They're not doing the little things they need to do. Or you get the Cowboys that are 2-0, but you got no Des Bryant, you got no Tony Romo. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's so early in the season that I would have to agree. If it was week 12 and these guys were going to miss 2-3 games, and Dallas was already rolling and had a nice hold on the division, but I mean 2-0 and 0-2, it's 2 games. Couple tiebreakers, whatever the case may be, but there's so much season left, and for them to be missed, they're going to miss these guys for more games than they're going to play. They're going to be out for the next 8 to 10 weeks, so you're going to have to muster something together with backups, and that's tough to do. That's really tough to do, and I mean, look, they're a good team. They played well. Sean Lee played really well. The defense played really well, but now you're out of 2 leaders, your 2 best players on the team. They're going to be on the sideline. So
and they don't have an easy schedule.
No,
winning the division, you got to play all the division leaders. So they got Green Bay still. They got the Seahawks. Oh, we play the Patriots too. So they're gonna they got them too. So they got some really tough games that they're probably gonna be missing all those guys for. They're not gonna have them for the Seahawks game. So probably gonna get wrecked in that one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's tough. I mean, they weren't really looking that great in week 1 either against the Giants.
No.
I mean, these 2 wins they got over 2 0-2 teams, and I'm not too proud of my football team right now whatsoever, but Dallas is getting these wins, but they're, things are going to catch up to you. Things are, they balance out in the NFL, and those 2 wins, I mean, I'm just not really impressed with anyone except Green Bay and New England right now. And if that was the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be surprised. They're 2 really good teams, and they're really, they deserve all the credit in the world right now for being really, just really on point with all their execution and everything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Dallas is in trouble, man.
No, I mean, I think if we can really get this thing going, I mean, there's going to be growing pains when you bring in all these new personnel, all these new players, and you just gotta have a little patience. I thought we'd be winning games. I thought we'd be 2-0 right now. I thought we'd be able to overcome this, but, we haven't yet. So I'm looking forward to next week, the Jets game, maybe scalp some tickets. The Pope's coming to town, I mean, this ticket price could drop. I mean, we'll see what happens, but thanks for joining us, guys. Join us on Thursday for Chip Chatter. See you guys then.